Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well. Welcome to August edition of A Book and a Bake. I hope you're going to enjoy this. I've had a lot of fun actually reading the book, but two making the cake, which obviously you will see at on the second half of this video. So the book I've chosen is Misty Mornings at the Potting Shed by Jenny Kane. I was very kindly asked by the publishers. I will leave all the details in the description bar down below. I was very kindly asked would I like to review this book since I had already read the first two books in this series. And I was like, yes, please, definitely. So it was really nice to be back in the potty shed with Maddie and Sabby and Edward and Henry and Jem and all the other characters. The potting shed is doing really, really well, and the cafe's now open, and Joe's running it. And it's doing, it's ticking along nicely, as the saying goes. But Sabby and Henry are offered this like major opportunity to go on this like cruise with his company, but it will also mean that Sabby will meet people that she can approach because she's doing interior design. And Maddie's like, yeah, go, but Sabby's like, oh, we're leaving you. It means you will have to have Jem at the weekends for school, since she's at boarding school. And like Maddie and Edward are like, no problem, no worries at all. You go and have a great time. So there's that. And then one of Edward's old supposed university friends, Tristan, turns up, and he takes an interest in Sarah, who works part-time at the potting shed and also runs an Airbnb in her family home. And Joe helps her. The two of them are really good friends, and I think they both kind of wish there could be more to it, but are too scared to say to each other. So you've got that going on. But anyway, this Pratt, Tristan, is awful. He really is awful. He has antiquated views on women. And some of the things he said, I was like, oh my goodness, how dare you say that? Like, there's one point in the book, and he takes Sarah out and he actually looks at what she's wearing going, we're going shopping. But not in the nice, the pretty woman way that, Richard Gere, and he spoils her because he cares about her. No, this was because you're not good enough, and, my God, what are you wearing? It was like that. And he had pre-booked the appointment with the shop. And I'm like, oh dear Lord. So there was that dynamic, which I have to say I hated. I absolutely hated that part. And yes, it did detract for me from the book. I'll make no bones about it. This book, if it hadn't been for that, would have got a 4.5 star. For me, it got 3.5. Because of this one character, because for me, every time he came in, opened his mouth, he spouted horrible stuff. It was awful. So, I'm just putting that out there. That was the one bit that detracted from the story. But anyway, I've talked about Tristan. I'm not talking about him again. So they're trying. Sabby and Henry are, as I say, are away, but they're still keeping in touch and everything. But Maddie and Edward and Joe and Sarah are trying to work out what else they can do to bring more business into the potting shed. And Joe's mum has a fall, and she ends up having to go into an assisted living facility, and she has dementia. I mean, actually, maybe she's already in the facility and she has dementia. And Jem comes up with the idea of, why don't we do a dementia-friendly cafe once a week, where people come, we can take people from the care home, they can have like an afternoon out in the cafe where it's safe, and we can do activities that will stimulate them. So they decide to do this, and Joe's mum comes as part of the group, and then they have a really good time and they really enjoy it, and then they decide that the next time that they have a group called Little Acorns at the potting shed. It's young children, and they decide that the young children shall sort of help the older ones pot up some flowers in their, they can have in their rooms and stuff like this. And one little acorn in particular, Noel, who is it Noel or is it Niall? One of the two. He is a really bright wee spark. I suspect he could be on the autism scale. But he hits it off with Joe's mum, really hits it off with Joe's mum, and the interaction between the two of them is just really, really sweet. And we sort of also see Joe visiting his mum in the home, and some of that is just so heartbreaking. It's, there are flashes of his mum as she was before dementia, and then there's the confused lady, and that is just, it is so sad. Dementia is a horrible, horrible disease, but it was very, very poignant. And then the cat, with Sabby and Henry being away, the cafe is, or the whole garden centre is a couple of hands short basically, and they need somebody else in the cafe. So enter Belle, and Belle has two sons. Milo, who is definitely autistic and does not take well to change in his routine. So there's you get the hiccups with him. And then there's also his older brother, whose name I'm afraid has just escaped me. Who's really happy for his mum to take a job, and then he actually ends up coming and helping out, as does Milo. And Belle makes friends with the man that runs the cheese counter at the potting shed. I think his name's Trav. I think his name has escaped me into the ether. But they become friends, and they decide that another way to get more customer for his his sort of stall is to start having like recipe cards and ideas that people can use for using his cheeses. And so Belle also starts doing a wee bit baking because she's obviously working in the cafe. She starts doing some baking for the cafe, and that's where the idea for the cake that comes next comes in. So we have all of this going on, and it was a great page turner. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end, but it really was a great third book in this series. If you haven't picked up the Potting Shed series yet, I will leave all of them down below so you get them in order. I would highly suggest you do it because it is such a fun series to read. Great characters, great plot lines. I just really, really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where she takes it next and to what happens, because it is, you get invested with the characters. There's also, I forgot to mention, there's a Maddie and Edward plot line as well. It's like he's moved away for work, and is that going to work, is it not going to work, and what's going to happen there. So yeah, definitely pick these books up, friends. They are really fun books, good reads, and you will just get yourself immersed in the Potting Shed and want to go there, and maybe not buy all the plants, but definitely go and check out the cafe, because it just sounds good, and like all the things that they have in the cafe, etc. So yeah, so I hope you will go out and check these books out. If you have read them, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to chat to you about them. But let's now go and bake a cake, will we? Bye! Welcome to the bake part of this video. I'm making what is called a Caribbean Toto cake. This is one of the cakes that was mentioned in the book, so I thought let's try and find a recipe for it. I have done, and it's going to be interesting. It's like, it sounds as a really, really nice cake. It really does. and I found a healthy version of it, which was like, I was like, yay. I have changed one of the ingredients, but that's fine. No, actually two of the ingredients, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to affect anything, but let me talk you through what I've done so far. I've lined my pan, my sheet pan, well, my square pan, so that's done. I have my ingredients lined up here. In the bowl so far I've got 1.5 cups of almond flour. I actually just use ground almonds. I decided that's it. I'm not using the recipe calls for palm sugar. I'm actually using xylitol, so I've switched that out. I don't have any allspice, but I'm using mixed spice. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, so I'm just going to start. I have to put all my dry ingredients into the bowl. So the next thing I'm going to do is the shredded coconut. So we have a nice big jar of it that we always keep handy in the house. So I'm going to just put all the dry ingredients into this bowl. So I have all my dry ingredients together. It smells really nice, I have to say. So yeah, I'm hoping this one will turn out really nicely. In this bowl I've got 4 egg yolks, some non-butter spread that I've melted, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and it's just been all sort of mixed together. And then in this bowl I have 4 egg whites, which I need to beat into soft peaks. So that's what I'm going to do just now. And I'm going to give you a wee tip. If you tilt your bowl while you're whisking with an electric whisk, it actually makes it's quicker and easier. A wee tip that my mum passed on to me. So I'm going to definitely be doing that. And then I think we just mix everything together, but I will get to that stage once I've whipped my egg whites. Okay, I added the egg mixture to the egg yolk mixture to the actual floury mixture. Now Mum's showing me, it's been so long since I've done fold in that Mum is just showing me what to do. So it's cut and fold. Right, okay, so cut and fold. Cut and fold. Right, okay, cool. This is hopefully going to be a really nice light cake. It's very handy having a mum who is like a gourmet baker stroke chef. It is very handy, folks, believe you me. Oh, you're just like, oh right, okay. She's now doing the posh stuff. The pro stuff. So, okay, yeah. Excellent, so that's it now, ready to go into the pan. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, so you're just gonna break up the wee bit, you see. Okay, and then just pour it in. So we're gonna pour this in and bake it, and I'll let you see what it looks like once it's finished, guys.
Enough to look at.
So that's it in the oven. Mum made a very good point. She said if you fold egg whites into like a cake mixture or anything, when you shut the oven door, do it very gently. Don't slam it shut because it'll de-aerate it. So yeah, so that's in there for 40 minutes, so 40 to 50 minutes, so hopefully it'll be nice and golden when it comes out. But yeah, looking forward to this one, friends. Okay, that's it out the oven now. We took it out we tried it at 40 minutes, and we felt that the centre was just a bit too soft, so what we did is we actually put the oven off, and I put it in for another 10 minutes. And it seems to have solidified a bit more. Mum's saying maybe it's because I didn't use almond flour, I just used ground almonds because it's what I had in the house. But we'll wait till it's cool or cold, and then we'll cut it and we'll see what it's like. I'm just hoping it just doesn't look like scrambled eggs in the centre. That's all I'm hoping. But you know, it smells nice, but we'll see what it's like once I actually cut into it and taste it. So this is what it looks like now that we've taken the parts. It's quite a deep cake, which is good. Sorry, I've got the kettle on, so I have an afternoon cuppa, but we're going to cut this to see what it's like and to taste it. Okay, so that's it cut. It's got an interesting bit at the bottom. I'm sure that's cooked, but it's interesting that it almost looks, I don't know. But we will taste it anyway and see. I'm going to freeze quite a bit of this. I'll probably freeze that whole half and just eat those sections. But I will let you see our reactions to the cake. Okay, Mum's about to taste it. Interesting bit at the bottom. Is it okay? Right, pat.
Very light.
Dad's not saying much.
No problem. I like the texture,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, there's a little bit of salt through it as well.
Mhm.
yeah, no,
You getting the spices coming through?
I wouldn't say too much,
Not much.
but there's enough of the general flavour though.
Okay,
And I
cool.
like the
Texture.
bit crustiness on the top.
All right, good. A keeper or
I
a
would say.
Oh, keeper.
good.
It won't last long, will it?
No, probably not. Okay, I'm going to taste it now. It is nicely textured. And the salt's coming through. The spices are coming through. Oh no, I like that. Very, very light. It's not one of these ones that's going to fill you up and, you know, sit in your gut and go, no. This is a good one. So, so friends, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of A Book and a Bake. Please let me know down in the comments if you plan to read the book. If I will leave a link also to the recipe I used for the Toto cake. If you fancy making it, please let me know if you do and what you think of it. I'd love to know. But until my next video, friends, stay safe and happy reading. Bye.